1 to 14. So 7 is neutral. We want to try to be in an ideal place of 7.3 or 7.5 for our bodies. But anything less than a 7 means that we're in an acidic state. So even something like cancer, there's a lot of studies that say cancer can't grow in an alkaline environment. So people who are being diagnosed with cancer can slow it down, or are said to be able to slow it down or even reverse the process if they follow more of an alkaline diet. So eliminating meats, dairies, eating lots of green vegetables, drinking alkaline water, taking things like wheatgrass and good doses, and you can really maintain and fight a lot of disease. So as I said, acidosis is associated with a lot of chronic diseases, inflammation like rheumatoid arthritis, cancer, as I mentioned, decreased cellular function, as I mentioned. Also, in an acidic environment, your bone tissue starts to break down, and so then osteoporosis is something that you want to consider as well as a possibility for acidosis. So, time to reset, okay? All the doom and gloom. So, if you've been struggling with weight loss or fatigue for some time, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, it may not be your fault. It may be that approach that we need to change. It may just be you need to create more of an understanding about the different things that are affecting your body and start to really make a change. And that's where that purpose of the detox comes. You stop, you take a look at what you're doing, evaluate, and now start to flood the good stuff in your body. Sorry, Joe, just drink your bottle of water. Me too. All right. I think I mentioned this, so I can kind of skip over it. About the, the processed foods being acidic and yeah.
Are you able to touch from just the second paragraph, just a little bit on that?
So the body stores foreign substances with its fatty deposits. So as I said, sometimes your body doesn't know what to do with these products, with these byproducts and substances, so they're stored in your system. And as you continue to eat the chemical foods and processed foods, it just keeps packing it in, right? And then it becomes difficult for your body. Your cells aren't functioning at their best. So now when you come up against something, you can't fight to get sick, or it's a lot difficult for your body to repair itself. And then that's when all those chronic diseases start to come in, and also makes fat loss hard, because where else are we going to put all those chemicals, right? So people who struggle with weight, once we start detoxing and getting rid of some of the chemicals, your body can release the weight a lot easier as well. So I said, I know some believe that some of those things we talked about taste very good, the sardines in the can, but maybe it might be the time to change your mind on some of these things, right? FLP syndrome, I call it feeling like crap. Yeah.
I mean, what about moderation?
Of course, I think moderation is very, very important. And as you grow in understanding, and as you start to feel better, I tell my clients this a lot. Sometimes I start my clients on a 2 or 3 day detox, and we kind of move through the program from there. So on our little mini detox, I said, right now, what I'm asking you to do seems like it might be a little challenging. And usually I start people on something simple like lots of water, more greens, like for 2 days, and if you eat meat, then you're having lean proteins. If you don't eat meat, that's just what we're sticking to, right? And eliminating carbohydrates and a lot of just the crappy stuff. I'm like, wow, I don't know if I can do this. But after they get through like the first or second day, their energy comes up. They're more hydrated, so they're like thinking clearly, their skin is glowing, the bloating goes away, they've lost 5 pounds in like 3 days or whatever it is, and they're feeling amazing. So once you start to reap the benefits of making these changes, you want to continue down the path, because now you know what it feels like to be closer or functioning at your best. Why would you want to go back to feeling lethargic and sore and bloated and all that kind of stuff, right? So moderation, yes, so you can kind of self-regulate that for yourself and what that means to you. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right, so the journey of 1,000 miles begins with 1 step. I love that quote, I put it everywhere, and I think it's very true. So here were some of those symptoms I mentioned about when it might be time for you to kind of look at detoxing and kind of making some changes. So you have mentioned fatigue, headaches is something, the brittle hair, nails you mentioned, joint pain, bad breath. Sometimes, honestly, you can really hear that from some people. High blood sugar levels or high blood pressure, difficulty with weight loss. So that's where we do the 14-day detox. And where can you get wheatgrass? You can get that at livewellwheatgrass.com. On that website, I talk a lot about alkaline diets and detoxing in some of my programs, and the 14-day detox challenge is on there. I like to call it a challenge because it is difficult to look at rearranging and reassessing your life. But again, once you go through that 2-week period, 2 weeks start to help you to build like new habits and changes. You start feeling better. The idea is you're not going to go right back to all the things you used to do. Let's build off the progress that we've made and kind of keep going. So that's the idea. We want to just get started. So this is someone who went through the program. Her results have been amazing, like amazing. So this was her after her, I think in the end ended up doing it at least 3 times, but I think this was just after her first 2 weeks. Take a look around her waist and see that. And that was her, so it was awesome. Most people who go through the detox program, they tend to say they have more energy, the skin is brighter, it's really helped them to kind of get on track. And again, what we're doing with such a program is looking at eliminating harmful substances and then reintroducing things that are healing that are going to help to maximize your body. So we look at everything, proteins, fats, carbohydrates, and what are healthier versions, as you were asking, milk versus almond milk versus soy milk. We kind of look and assess that for each person and how we can make those changes. I think having simple recipes and meals and things to follow is really important when you're starting to make changes too. And a lot of my recipes are like that. I wish I was a more elaborate chef, but I'm not. But I'm busy. So sometimes I find just again eating natural and throwing nice things into my crock pot or whatever is just very helpful. And it's a lot easier to stay on track when you don't have to worry with overcomplicated things. I just think keeping it simple really is a kind of key to success that way. And the key, as I said, is to try to be as natural as possible with all that you do. Some other things that I touch on, I didn't go into them today because I didn't want to overwhelm you with too many technical terms and stuff. But in the program, we look at something called adrenal fatigue. So this is something that's popping up for a lot of people, and it's I guess in short, it's almost like related to stress. Like your adrenal glands are releasing hormones that kind of help you function in stressful situations and throughout your day-to-day environment. But if you're consistently in that state of stress, you start to fatigue your organs, and now we have a lot of health concerns from there. Inflammation, as I mentioned a few times, it could be something like arthritis in the joints or bowels, inflammation, and so on. Candida is something that a lot of people have to be concerned with as well, and that's related to taking too much sugar. And as I said, I get into all this stuff. And in the program, we look at exercise routines, breathing exercises, understanding the glycemic index, and how to look at eating foods, again, that are going to be broken down a little easier into the body and not spike your blood sugar level. Because diabetes and obesity, as everybody knows, is something that's really become a growing concern in our community. And, we're in Toronto here, everybody, it's something we want to watch out for. And the thing is that type 2 diabetes is something that we can actually reverse just by changing our diet and starting to get into activity. And I've had clients that were able to come off of their insulin and their medication just by changing their diet and exercise. Yeah. All right. So live well, live clean. Okay, the thing everybody talks about doing but never gets to doing is exercise. So here's just a few little reasons about why maybe we could try to look at exercising. So 15 to 20 minutes a day will help to boost your energy and your vibrancy. So sometimes the programs I'm looking at for creating for people is really just improving their ADL. So activities of daily living, like I said, using the stairs or carrying their groceries, getting up off the floor. For some people, it's just these little things that we want to work on improving. So you just have a better quality of life. So exercising 15 to 20 minutes a day will make you more youthful. Right? Studies have shown that exercise actually boosts metabolism, and boosting your metabolism will effectively decrease the aging process. So you're going to look and feel much younger. Exercising 15 to 20 minutes per day will help you live longer with a better quality of life. And there's many positive physiological effects of exercise. You can Google it, you'll find it. I didn't feel like I needed to go into that because I think it's known. But what I think is important is understanding how to get active. So I kind of put here, I mentioned about compliance, but is there any kind of discussion or questions that you guys kind of have around why it's important to get active and be more physical in this way? We all understand, we all agree with that, right? You're just
Part of it,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
part of it is to get rid of depression mostly.
Absolutely. Yeah, I have had a few clients where we have used exercise programs to help them to manage their stress. There was a couple of them that were seeing the psychologist, and then we had the referral back to me to work with them to just improve their positive effect. Yeah, you know, of course, you're having the release of your serotonin and those hormones. So it's helping that. And I had to do a case study for the doctor and prove to him about why he should approve my treatment plan for this person who is dealing with their stress disorder. So, yeah. Growth hormone is something I thought I'd touch on. So I'm a big nerd, and I like to study and research, and when I find these little nuggets of stuff, I think it's really cool. So growth hormone is something that I kind of understood how to target with some certain type of exercise strategies and nutrition strategies. So the effects of growth hormone is looking at elevating your metabolism. So when the metabolism is higher, that helps your body burn more fat. So if we had two people sitting beside each other here today, the person who has more muscle mass just sitting there is going to be burning more calories just sitting there than the person with less. So, and that would be like a study, how much calories or energy your body needs to just complete all of its daily functions. That's metabolism.
Is this one of the reasons why it's important to build more muscle?
Yeah, absolutely. It's very helpful with just managing and maintaining your weight. It makes it a lot easier. So the growth hormone also helps to improve your rate of recovery. So I do something called intermittent fasting sometimes with my clients, and we use that to help while they're sleeping, their body is having an elevated state of repairing and building muscle.
What was it called? Something fasting?
Intermittent fasting. Intermittent.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's good.
So just cutting off, yeah.
You have like a feeding period. Yeah, and then you have like a fasting period. Intermittently fasting, and then that has a larger release of those hormones. Increased lean muscle mass. So the more growth hormone release that you have, the more muscle mass your body will develop. Improved skin texture, less wrinkles. They kind of say